Hello everybody, I hope you're well. Barry here, and welcome to this short micro-teach. Something that I thought you might find interesting is to take a look at some of the work we're doing on the Warrior Teacher Winning Mindset course, and this is one excerpt from something that we have conversations about in year 2. Part of what we look at is the dynamics of cults, something that not everybody is aware of, nor whether there are links to ancient cults or old cults that actually link in with what we're seeing today. So that's what I want to just take you through, is one particular cult, just a brief overview, that's all. To everybody, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through the Edijester channel or whether you subscribe to my Substack. But it would be great if you come and be a Warrior Teacher. You can come and learn some more with us and become part of the team. So I want to introduce you to a group of people called the Scopsy, spelt Skoptsy. Now, the Scopsy were a Russian spiritual Christianity movement. Skopets in Russian means eunuchs. We've seen the likes of WPATH and others try to push on us the fact that eunuch is actually a transgender identity. The NHS took this on board as well. So it's very hard not to draw parallels between the Scopsy and what we're seeing today with trans and gender identity. What's interesting about them is particularly the concept that because they are a cult, they had what we would call a messianic leader, who was a guy called Kondraty Silivanov. He was a charismatic figure, very much so. He claimed a divine status. He thought that he was a reincarnation of Christ, or Peter the Third. And his sect was based upon Christian theology. And it exhibited all the classic cult traits. So what's going to be interesting here is for us to see whether or not there is a link between the cult traits of something like the Scopsy and the gender ideological cult that we see today. The first thing to mention is, as I'm asked continually by the Warrior Teachers and we discuss in the program, is where's the leaders? If it's a cult, where's the leaders? And that's a really interesting question that's worth exploring. So my answer is as follows. They're there, you just can't see them. And the reason that you can't see them, because this is the hallmark, isn't it? Charles Manson, Jim Jones. This is the hallmark of a cult, is a charismatic leader. The reason that you can't see them is because what we are witnessing is the first virtual cult. Cults traditionally were geographically located. The Scopsy, for example, ended up in Siberia. Jim Jones, Guyana, right? So they were traditionally, Manson, we know where he was, right? Traditionally, they were geographically located, but we've now got technologies that mean that isn't necessary because these people can meet each other online. So what we've in fact got is the first virtual cult, and it's a big one. They existed in the 17th century onwards, and they exhibited every single trait you can imagine that the cult would be. They were particularly interested in divine transformation, which justified extreme sacrifices. Lifelong health problems like mutilation, particularly mutilation of the genitalia and the breast. So this was a full-on flesh cult, as I would call it, right? And they were at the core of their practice. This sexual mutilation aimed to transcend the gender binary, aligning with the belief, you see, that Adam and Eve were originally genderless. So this was an extreme offshoot of a religious context. Adam and Eve were genderless, will be genderless. So they would remove their genitals and their breasts to make them into what we would see now as the kind of cult activity that non-binary nullification surgery indicates. Now, it might be that people are saying to me, that's a bit cruel, isn't it? You're calling this all... It is a cult. I don't care how cruel it sounds. You cannot consent to this type of thing. I don't care if you're a grown adult. I don't think you can consent, even as a grown adult. And I think that the whole process should be stopped. So we've got, within this framework of the Scopsy, bodily modification for identity alignment. Does that sound familiar? Does it? Rejection of the binary gender? Does that sound familiar? They've got, both groups are seen by society as, to begin with, these people that need help, but they turn into something far more horrific. And they offer a very tight-knit community where you can belong, don't they? That's what they do, right? And then once you get involved, it's game over. Ask anybody with a trans or the teenager who thinks that they're trans, who's got involved in this cult. It is a terribly harmful situation when we see the likes of the Scopsy from the 17th century suddenly re-emerge in the where are we? 22nd? 21st. In the 21st. What's wrong with me today? In the 21st. But that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. And it's because we have an arrogance about us. We seem to think because we're in the 21st century that we're better thinkers than people in the 17th century. We aren't, right? Human nature doesn't change. They are us, right? And we are them. The Scopsy radically reject gender and sexuality through mutilation. And that is certainly what we're seeing. They use control, coercion, and they have an apocalyptic ideology. It's a genocide. And they disregard harm. So I don't think the argument that people consent holds any water. I actually think this is a full-blown cult. And what I'll be interested to find out is whether you think the same. These are the types of conversations that we have on The Winning Mindset, and I would very much like you to come and join us. We've got a new session starting tomorrow, so your last time to join is tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, all right? So if you want to come along, fill out the form, usual stuff, down where it should be, and I'll see you later. Thanks very much for watching this micro teach from The Winning Mindset. Bye-bye.